Hello, in this lesson we're going to go over telling the time in Japanese. I can tell you right now this is a bit of a continuation on from last lesson, so if you haven't watched that one already, please go ahead and watch that first. In this lesson we're going to go over AM, PM and half past. We're not going to do minutes this time, we're going to give you a bit of time to get used to the main points, and then eventually we'll go on to minutes later, and that will give us a chance to revise time when we go over minutes in another lesson. So let's crack into it. Firstly, we have a warm-up. I'm not going to go over the warm-up with you right now. If you'd like to do the warm-up, you can go to my website, Pocket Japanese, and you can do the warm-up yourself. My website also has word lists for the lesson, kanji lists for the lesson, so you know exactly what you need to be studying each week to keep up a good pace. Let's look at how to say what time is it. Firstly, ji, I have the kanji and I have the hiragana written there. It's the counter for hours/o'clock. As it's counting quantity, it's counting how many hours has been in the day. We'll use nan. Therefore, what time is it is nanji desu ka. That first kanji is nan. The second kanji is ji. Desu ka. Is it? Nanji, what time? Desu ka, is it? We could technically make this more specific by adding ima to the front, making the sentence, what's the time right now? Ima, nanji desu ka? Right now, what is the time? What's the time at the moment? If you go on my website and you click these characters, you'll be able to see the meaning and the hiragana. It's all in the notes. So adding ima, we don't need to do it. It's not necessary. Usually if someone asks you what's the time, you know they mean right now, unless they've specified otherwise. However, it helps you learn an extra word. You might see ima wa nanji desu ka versus ima nanji desu ka. There's not a lot of difference. One of them is really making the focus right now. So right now, what is the time? As for right now, what is the time? As opposed to like the other one is just saying what's the time right now. They both have the same general meaning. One is just making the topic of the sentence right now, what is the time? But first, let's start simple and look at the structure. Unit order. We have two different things going on here. In the first column, we have stating the hour. So when we're stating the hour in Japanese, we do hour plus o'clock. Kind of like in English where you say 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. We say 5時です. 5時です. 5 o'clock, 5時です. 5, 5 o'clock, des, it is. It is 5 o'clock, 5時です. If we wanted to say it is 1 o'clock, we would say 1時です. 2 o'clock, 2時です. 3 o'clock, 3時です. 4 o'clock, 4時です. We'll go over this in a second. 5 o'clock, 5時です. 6 o'clock, 6時です, and etc. So let's look at adding half past onto the end of this. If you can count to 12, you should be quite okay with counting to 12 o'clock. When we get above 10, it's literally 10時です, 11時です, 12時です. Obviously, if you're not saying it is blah 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 o'clock, you don't need to add the des. But in this case, we are saying it is blah 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 o'clock. So half past. Hour plus o'clock plus half. So we say it a bit different in English, and we have a few ways of saying it. We can say it's half past, we can say it's blah 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 30, 3:30. In all of these situations, we cut out the o'clock. They do not. You've got hour plus o'clock plus half. So hour plus o'clock, the time counter, the hour counter. G is the hour counter. It's saying that it's 5 hours. It's saying, what have you got 5 of? You've got 5 hours. 5 o'clock, and then you have half. Half past 5, 5 o'clock half. 5時半です. 5時半です. Half past 5, 5時半. 5 o'clock, 30. So if we wanted to say 1:30, we would say 1時半です. 2:30, 2時半です. 3:30, 3時半です. 7:30, 7時半です. 8:30, 8時半です. 9:30, 9時半です. 10:30, 10時半です. 11:30, 11時半です. 12:30, 12時半です. So hopefully you've got the hang of these. Just as a note for now. So for hours, we use shichi, yo, and ku. Shichi is funny because when we get onto the minutes, they use nana. So for hour, shichi. For minutes, nana. Enjoy. For it's not yonji, it's yoji. I guess it's just easier to say yoji. So it's yoji, not yonji. If you say yonji, I know what you mean, but you are technically wrong. And 9, again, kuji, not kyuji. It's easier to say kuji than kyuji, which makes it easier to remember. If you say kyuji, I know what you mean, but you are once again wrong. So type the time shown in the clock. Okay, we're going to do 5 of these just for fun. You're going to have 3 seconds to think of the answer, and then I'm going to reveal the answer. So our first one is 1:30. 1時半. 2:30. 2時半. 6:30. 6時半. 6. 6. G. 5:30. 5時半. Okay, let's move on and let's look at AM and PM. Okay, so the unit order for AM and PM is kind of the opposite to what we would say in English. In English, we say 6 a.m., 9 a.m., or even 6 in the morning. In Japanese, they say AM/PM first. So if you've got your hour, o'clock, and half down to a T, if you know what you're saying, you'll be able to do this fine. You just need to add AM and PM onto the front. If you're not so good with the first bits, I would recommend practicing the first bits until you've got them right and then adding this on. I think what a lot of people will maybe find is their downfall is if you find this easy, if you're like, oh, okay, I get it. If you don't practice it, it's quite easy to forget the ordering. So that's the only thing I'll give a warning to, saying, oh, I get this completely, and then just ignoring it and then coming to a question later on that has this and you need to get the ordering correct and you've not looked at it since because you found it easy. So that is my warning. Okay, let's go. So if we wanted to say it's 5:30 a.m., we say a.m., hour, o'clock, half, and then it is if we wanted to add the it is onto the end. So 午前5時半です. 午前 a.m. 5 5 ji o'clock 半 half past des it is. If you have not looked at the word list yet, I really recommend that you go to my website and have a look at this week's word list and practice all of the words. Make sure you've got them all down. If you want to become fluent, you can't just pick and choose what words you want to know. Practice all the words before you move on to your next lesson. So 午前5時半です. You can also check on my other videos. Usually in my shorts, I'll upload word lists so you can repeatedly watch those and hopefully they will end up in your head. Let's look at an example sentence. 例文 example sentence. レイラ、何時ですか? ミカ、今午後7時半です. So レイラ, what time is it? ミカ, right now, 今 at the moment. 午後 p.m. 7 7 g o'clock. 半 half des it is. Right now it is 7:30 p.m. I'm going to do a listening practice with you now. So you're going to listen to what I'm saying, and then you have about 5 roughly seconds to think of the answer. If you need longer, please go ahead and pause. If you don't, great, let's go. 7時半です。7時半です。It is 7:30. 9時です。9時です。It is 9 o'clock. 11時半です。11時半です。It is 11:30. 午後1時です。午後1時です。It is 1 p.m. 午前10時です。午前10時です。It is 10 a.m. 午後5時です。午後5時です。It is 5 p.m. 午前7時です。午前7時です。It is 7 a.m. Okay, lastly, just my little tip for this one. We have AM and PM, 午前, 午後. I like to think of PM as like, where did the day go? Where did it go? Because it's already the PM. If that helps you differentiate the two as a beginner, I don't know, maybe it was worth saying. If not, it's just really embarrassing. Anyway, if you're on my website, you can do the listening practice. You just click audio.
何時ですか?
And you have to listen out and guess what it means. 何時ですか? What time is it?
9時です。
9時です. It is 9 o'clock. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really, really helps, especially because I'm just a little channel. I'm going to put in the comments a little question. So I like to start little chains so you guys can practice typing. This one is going to be asking, what is the time? So I'll put a question saying, what is the time? And then I will expect the next person to answer, the time is blah, 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 whatever time they answer. And then the next person, and then they can ask below that, what is the time? And then the next person can say, the time is blah, blah, blah. If you see anyone makes a mistake, go ahead and correct it if you are sure. Be nice when you're correcting it. Don't be mean. If you are, I will be monitoring the comments. So please do not be mean. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.